Nigeria's Access Bank is offering a travel debit card. In a notice sent out to customers, the bank said effective October the 18th, all payments of legitimate and approved personal travel allowance will now be credited to the travel debit card for use outside Nigeria. Customers can also get cash back in Naira equivalent using the prevailing approved rate. Joining us to discuss these headlines is Arise business analyst Chika Anbon. Chika, you're very welcome. Good morning.
Loaded segment.
Very loaded. Where shall we begin? The NEPC or
let's do Access Bank.
As Access Bank, yes. Yeah. Okay, go right ahead.
I mean, the debit card. I mean, an innovation, the nice one. But Nigerians like handling cash.
Indeed.
And those who want to, who don't have the right motive, who don't want to travel,
right?
Who didn't plan to travel, who have difficulties now with this card. Because of the fact that the arbitrage opportunity that exists from them carrying cash from the banking hall to the streets.
Yes.
They may lose it. And if they take the card to the typical ATM here, the conversion rate will be, of course, the official rate.
Gotcha.
And if you're going to get a refund on the card, it's also going to be the official rate.
You think other banks need to catch on?
Yeah, most banks are going to move into this already. Nigerian banking system is, one person, they just have a lead time of maybe maximum one or 2 weeks. Other banks will just copy you and move to that respect.
Gotcha.
But also it has advantages because of the theft and the risk of carrying cash. So even if your card is stolen and you still have your PIN intact, you can always replace it and then you don't lose your cash. Unlike somebody just, if you leave the banking hall and somebody just grabs your cash, or you're on the train in London and somebody just takes your cash, the cash is gone permanently.
Gotcha.
So that again, it helps to reduce cash in the banking system. So I think other banks are going to adopt it.
Great stuff.
So that's a good one for Access Bank.
Excellent. The BVN, this crackdown on
let me tell you,
penalties.
At the time in the banking industry in Nigeria, a chief will take a loan from Bank A, and when the big check comes, he goes to Bank B and become a champion, and then abandon his loan in Bank A to go to Bank B to open another account and start using the money. At the time when there was no BVN. BVN came into our system, I think, February 2014. And it's been happening because of the difference between my name is Chika Tara in full, but the short form is Chika. In those days, you can open an account in Chika and then Chika Tara and then do several things. Commit fraud, do one bank, and then be a champion in another bank. But that window is closed now. And but the CBN has allowed for financial inclusion for some people also to accounts to be opened without BVN, and those accounts are excluded. So I'm even surprised that there are still accounts of being operated,
right,
not abandoned.
That don't have
not abandoned.
Right.
I thought the accounts have been abandoned. I didn't have BVN. I didn't know that accounts are still not being operated with that BVN. I think that the entrance of BVN into our banking system had more pluses than minuses. There may be downsides, but I think it's added to the integrity of the banking system, the stability of the banking system, protected investment. And then on one snapshot, you can see somebody's investment and then protected the bankers in all respects. I'm not here to challenge the fines that CBN has imputed.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're a player, you should understand the risks and the benefits of this and that. So, a good one for the banking system.
Chika, just to follow up, do you still? I mean, BVN works. What about NIN? Do you still think we still have too many identification forms in the country?
They should cluster in one.
Right.
I mean, we had a time that the Minister for Communication was talking about a name replacing the BVN.
Right.
But I mean, the Central Bank was, hostile to that, or don't know where that one is now. So I mean, then BVN is the primary issue, identity for opening accounts in Nigeria now, and not other things. But people are going to ask you NIM, but I'm not sure that it's really mandatory so far.
Great stuff. The PAPS, the Pan-African Payment System, the INA window.
Yeah, it's not surprising.
That makes sense.
As we move to African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, and Africa being one global market, the settlements have to take place. Before, it's like aviation. You want to go to Senegal, you fly to Air France to France, and then come back to Dakar.
Right.
It used to happen also for settlements. The same thing. You have to go to correspondent banks in Europe before he come back to Africa again, and he has a lot of charges inbuilt, that attest to that. I mean, it's been said that if that works, Africa is going to save about 5 billion in bank charges,
Right.
and other sundry costs,
Yeah.
which is going to, which is very a plus for the African economy. You can imagine that being invested back in African economy, and then speed of transactions will be faster. And the other thing that will happen there is for Nigeria. I'm not surprised at what CBN has said. It will not be different. It's not because we have the African Continental Free Area Agreement. Suddenly, our doors are open.
Right.
CBN has said the 41 items.
Yeah, they're still not.
Are still there.
Yeah.
And the goods must be African-produced goods.
Right.
We know that destination rules of destination and so on about the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement implementation. So is that. So hurrah is on there. Let the settlements begin.
Exactly.
Because you move things to Ghana or whatever, now you'll be able to get your payments easily. And
Fantastic. I need to ask you about this ranking.
The African,
this ABSA ranking. Nigeria is the third best destination for FDI in Africa.
The ABSA ranking, I think it's about the sixth. They said about the third year of 60 year now.
Yeah.
They've been doing this. Funnily, I've not been. I've not observed this thing. But I mean, they say we came third, Nigeria. South Africa first, Mauritius second.
Yeah.
Those are not surprising. But Nigeria third. Above Egypt, above Morocco. Well, I mean, even above our brothers Ghana now.
Right.
And
we talked about Ghana and the
Ghana, but see,
automotive stuff.
The third position has not reflected in the FDI poured into our country.
Right.
I looked at the 6 parameters they use in scoring us. I looked at the ratings. Some of them were, I don't know where they got the scores from. At least the one I know they got right was the FX. FX scored us 20 over 100.
Yeah.
In the challenges FX. The other ones are like, how you get your result from school? I just say, are these my scores? I know what I wrote. But I mean, we'll claim it. We'll claim it and hope that it will translate to something good for us.
Fantastic. Okay. In fact, speaking of FDI, this new boss of
the guy that was there before, I think, stayed over 8 years. Now, you would have thought that we'll see his report card. You and me know the things we have been screaming here. And I actually tried to reach him to talk about his tenure before this program.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, he didn't return my calls or tests. Because I wanted to find out what are the high points of his 8 years. And I focus on him on the complaints we have been putting here about exporters. The fact that all the cargo ships and this that come to Nigeria actually go back empty. The fact that all the exporters are complaining about the 15, 16 charges that are levied on them, only about 5 are legal. The fact that the non-oil exports have just moved only by a needle in the ratio to the volume of efforts in the economy. So let's understand what has been achieved apart from moving papers from table to table.
Exactly.
Because this is the anchor agency that's supposed to be able to support and push export and speak for exporters. And we're not seeing the impact.
Yeah, same here. I mean,
we're not seeing the impact. And exporters are complaining. People are reaching out to me regularly on the troubles they're having. And I thought that they would have done something about that.
Fantastic. So, Chika, when do we start bringing in the Ministry of Trade and Investment into this conversation? When we talk about, there's the Export Council, there's all this, all these other players.
They're there. I mean, we talked about it already. That we reached out to the Minister of Trade and Investment and said, what's the trade policy for Nigeria? Because the one we had is a cake, and they said it's in process. For a country that is like on a life support on foreign exchange and other things, on trade, and our exports are just a paltry percentage of our imports. You'd have thought that trade would have been out there, but the Ministry of Trade and Investment, they exist, they don't exist, we don't know, and that's supposed to be the champion of FDIs and other things.
Exactly. When we talk about all this investment, Nigeria rankings, and all these things.
You see, the president is doing retreats, doing appraisals. I mean, I've done appraisal from when I was being appraised to when I was
became an appraiser. Right. Yeah.
And even now, I'm still accountable to a board.
Yeah.
But the issue is, I wonder what report card maybe the glossy slides and everything they're going to just be presenting there, and they're far removed from reality, because but who know the reality. And that ministry, everything that has to do with trade and investment, exports, the Nigerian ports, logistics, moving goods from distant transport. I don't know how they're going to be scored.
Interesting question. Arise business analyst Chika Mwachika, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks a lot.
Go through the headlines.
Thanks,
Appreciate your insights.